Today we're looking at Glencoe Course 2 Math, Lesson 6-7, which is on solving one-step inequalities that involve multiplication or division. So just like we solved our one-step equations by doing the opposite of the operation that we started with, again, that same process works for our inequalities. But there is one big difference here. Yesterday, when we solved one-step inequalities that involved addition or subtraction, if we had to subtract, if we had to work with a negative, nothing really changed. This time, if we have to divide by a negative, the direction of my inequality gets flip-flopped. Okay? Why? Because if we're saying that n is less than -7, okay, if we take away that negative, n is not then less than 7. N is less than -7. So we have to, if we take the opposite of the -7, we have to take the opposite direction. There has to be an opposite in there somewhere. And we're not going to use the opposite of our variable, because that just doesn't make much sense, does it? If we are dividing by a negative, then yes. Only when we divide by a negative. Okay? Everybody understand that? Yeah. Okay. So, we know that the opposite of multiplication is division. We know that the opposite of division is multiplication. So let's look at example 1. We're going to dive right in today, okay? Example 1 says that 8x is less than or equal to 40. Everything's positive, correct? Mm-hmm. So do I have to worry about flipping my inequality symbol?
No. Mm-mm.
Nope.
Woohoo.
Okay. So, hold on.
Are we recording?
So, yes, we're recording today. So what are we going to... So what do I have to do to figure out what x is?
Divide each side by 8.
Divide each side by 8. Fantastic. Because that's the number that's attached to my variable. So then I'm left with x is less than or equal to 5. Not equal to, we're working with inequalities. So x is less than or equal to 5.
Equal.
Okay? Not equal.
Less.
Less than or equal to. Alright? So, if I put this on my number line, what number am I going to put in the middle of my number line? Give me something I can put in the middle.
0. 1. 2.
Let's use 2.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Where does my circle go?
In the
Yes.
In the middle.
In the middle.
5. But in
5.
My circle goes at 5. Am I going to fill in that bubble?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Why yes?
Because it's greater.
I will.
It's less equal to it.
Because it has the or equal to symbol.
Oh.
Okay. If it's just greater than or less than, if it's not underlined, you leave it open. Because remember, that means that the value can approach that quantity, but it cannot be that quantity. That's why the circle is open. If it can also be that quantity with the or equal to, then it can equal that number, so we fill it in. Alright, now I need an arrow. Which is bigger, x or 5? 5. So is my arrow going to go in the positive or negative direction?
Negative.
Negative.
Because
That is not appropriate. So if the 5 is bigger, my alligator wants to eat the 5. Okay. So that means that x can be anything less than that 5. So our arrow needs to go in the negative direction. Okay? Everybody understand?
yeah.
Okay. Good. Let's look at example 2.
Example 2 says solve e over 2.
Which is bigger, the variable side or the non-variable side? The variable side?
Yeah.
Is greater than?
7.
Okay.
Well, can I try it?
So this says,
Oh, can I try it?
hold on. Let's figure out what this says first. This says that d divided by 2 is greater than 7. Okay? What do I have to do? Go ahead and try it.
See, since you gotta multiply both sides by 2.
I need to multiply both sides by 2. Good.
Well, it's connected to the variable.
Very, very good. So I'm left with d. B. Do I need to switch the sign of my inequality? No.
14.
I think my jump went out of juice.
And then,
D is greater than 14.
And then you go
What's going to go in the middle of my number line?
14.
Alright, why do I not want to put 0 in the middle? Where does my point go? Where does my circle go?
14.
At the 14. So if my circle goes at 14, does it make sense to put 0 in the middle?
No. So you can use 10.
I could put 10 in the middle, yeah.
14. Baby.
Okay? Shh. Excuse me. Shh. Stop. Alright. So my circle goes where?
14.
14.
Close.
Does it get filled in?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh no.
Wait, no.
Raise your hand if you think yes. Okay, raise your hand if you think no. Why is it no?
Because it doesn't have or equal to.
Because it doesn't have or equal to. Good. Does my arrow go in the positive or negative direction?
Negative.
Positive. Positive.
The positive direction. Which is getting eaten, the D or the 14?
14. The D.
The variable D is getting eaten. Okay, so that means that my arrow needs to go in the positive direction. Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody good so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you do negative 2g is less than 10?
You mean example 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Guess what? That was my next example.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Can I turn on my phone on the computer?
Hold on. Can you what?
Turn my phone on the computer.
No.
Can you turn my phone on the
The
computer?
Android.
No, and let's not ask about that in the middle of my class. Okay?
Well, you gotta calculate it. Alright, Miss Bum.
Alright.
3 says
Example.
negative 2g greater than.
What do we do?
Less than. No, I meant 10.
Okay. I have what the book has.
Yes.
Yes, man. Wait,
Woo-hoo,
hold
we copied our problem right. Okay.
up. Indigo, you gotta ride.
Woohoo. What am I going to do to get the variable g by itself?
Divide each side by 2.
Negative 2.
I mean negative 2. You know what I mean?
Okay. Hold on. I need to divide both sides by negative 2. Listen up.
You get negative
Shh.
5?
Hold on, hold on. Stay with me. Stay with me. If I divide by just 2, does that negative go away?
No.
No, then we're left with a negative variable. Do we want the opposite of our variable?
No.
No, we want to know what the variable is equal to. So if there's a negative in front of that coefficient, we have to get rid of the negative 2 as well. So we divide by the negative. Okay. Negative 2 divided by negative 2, we're left with g. Do I change the direction of my inequality?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes, because it's a negative sign too.
Because I'm dividing by a negative. So I have to change the direction of my inequality. Okay? 10 divided by negative 2 is?
-5.
Negative 5.
Something like that.
Okay?
So, I mean, the middle number could be 5?
But hold on, Miss Brown. Can
So-
you put 0?
Hold on. Hold on. So, what we did, because we started with negative being less than the positive, here do we have the negative is less than the positive? Yes. So because that negativity moved from one side of the inequality to the other, that's why we have to change the direction of our inequality symbol. Okay?
So negative 5 going in the middle.
Right. So I just put negative 5 in the middle.
And then you don't color it in.
It's not hard and good.
Because you don't have the or equal to.
Good.
Dumb, bro.
Okay? So, open circle at -5. Now, does my arrow go in the positive or the negative direction?
Positive. The negative.
Which way that go? Positive.
Positive direction because the G is bigger.
Which way is that?
To the right.
Positive, negative. You said same thing. How is positive and negative the same thing? Because they both positive. Positive doesn't have a negative sign. But they both got eyes in it.
Okay. Hold on. No names. Pause. Alright.
I said Django.
You can.
Django.
Hey. Math. Okay. While these are still negative numbers, our arrow is going in the more positive direction. Okay? So, we don't have positive quantities here, but -1 is more positive than -5, correct?
Yeah.
That means that -1 is greater than -5. Okay? That's why I ask, are we moving in the more positive or the more negative direction? Okay? I could keep going and I would have positive numbers over here, wouldn't I? Right, so that's why we say it's in the positive direction. Okay? Please stop knocking on the board. Are there any questions about this? No, do we need another example?
Number 4,
please.
Example 4? Sure.
It says,
Hold on, I need space first. No names.
okay, Miss
No names.
Okay, example 4 says what?
It says x over -3.
Why can't we say no names?
No, less than or equal to.
Recording.
She can't post it on YouTube because she can get sued.
Okay. Shh. We don't use names because if we did use names, then I would have to have your parents sign permission to create the video every time we did a video.
Okay.
So, right, that's why we use no names.
What else you
Okay.
got to let me know?
Stop.
Hey, shh. Go subscribe to my
All right.
YouTube channel.
X divided by -3 is less than or equal to 4.
Less than.
It's just less than?
No, less than or
Oh, no,
less
that's
than or equal to.
asking us a question.
Hold it. Is this symbol correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's less than or equal to because that's underlined. Okay. So, what am I going to do to get X by itself?
Multiply each side by -3.
Multiply by -3. Alright, did you know it or did you look in the book?
See what had happened was,
Did you look in the book? So, is that using your resource?
I knew it because.
but like I still knew it though, because you have to always.
So you gotta
multiply
multiply?
by the variable. It's
Right.
different.
You do the opposite of what's given.
So you
Alright?
gotta do 4.
So, hold on. The -3s would cancel and I'm left with X. Do I change the direction of my inequality?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yes.
No.
No.
What did the book do?
The book did.
What's the bill?
It did, yes.
Yeah, it changed it. It's
Right, the book changed. Did will the location of my negativity change?
What's the bill?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
It's
what?
gonna be bigger
Because-
as well.
Stay focused with me. Stay
This
focused
man
with me.
saying some
Stop. Have a seat. Guys, we're in the middle of a video. We're on our last example. Stay with me.
Yes,
Does the location of my negative change when I do this? Yes. Because it starts with the negative with my X. We end with the negative over here. So if the location of my negative changes, we will have to change the direction of the inequality symbol. So X is then greater than or equal to -12. Okay? We good?
What
So-
are they gonna call us down?
Hold on.
Wait, little boy.
So what number is going to go in the middle of my number line?
12.
Positive 12?
Negative 12, right?
Negative 12.
You trash.
Do not
Please
say that,
stop.
boy. I said sorry to you.
Stop. Stop. Okay. My circle at negative 12, is that open or closed?
Open. Closed.
Closed. Is my arrow going to go in the positive or the negative direction?
Positive.
Positive direction.
I mean,
Stop. Stop. All right.
now she got scissors in her. It's my favorite.
Are there any other questions?
No.
No, we're good to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good job.